What's up, guys? This is Asmar Wedge with some more boxing history, man. Just another dude, man. Whoa, this dude accepted me like a brother, man. Much love. Just like Lavander Johnson in Atlantic City. This is another old head that was a pro that schooled me when I was like 18 years old. John the Eastern Beast Brown. This guy was unbelievable. He was short, man. Shorter than me, must be like 5'5". But this dude was fighting from what 130. He was fighting at I think he was fighting at 130 because he was so thick that his weights was taller than his height. But he had no problem. A scholar amateur career, and his pro career was nice as well. But I think because once again he was never nurtured in his defense because sadly to say, but it was very few people who understood that defense was just as important as offense in boxing, and the coaches in that time wasn't teaching us that. And John Brown didn't get taught that neither. We was all on the same team coming up in Atlantic City, Powell. Man, we had a ball of fun, man. This dude was funny, crazy personality, man. He didn't drink, smoke, nothing, man. He was crisp, clean. His only fault was the fact that he was boxing. He could have went to school to be anything, man. Intelligent. I love this brother, man. He took me in like a young brother. Eastern Beast Brown. So let's check John Brown out, man. He taught me a whole lot. Taught me how to move my head, how to pivot, how to not get touched, man. This dude was magnificent. He didn't get the credit he should deserve. I'm gonna watch this fight with you, and I want to watch with him and Shane Mosley, man. He gave Shane Mosley problems, and Shane Mosley, everybody this guy fought because of his career um, not having that element of blocking. You know, you can't move forever. And John Brown was the best at moving. He was better than Sugar Shane. He was better than a lot of people at moving his head on that ball, on that pivot. He could really move, man. But that doesn't matter because eventually you're gonna have to block. And John Brown is a perfect example of that. So his career ended up going down because of manager problems and trainer problems, and just Atlantic City, where we came from, where we was coming up in, was real rough, and no love, and just like most major cities. But here we go. I'm gonna analyze this one and try to go on until we get to that Shane one, man. You watch how he schooled Shane for what it's worth. Of course, Shane was able to do his little fast stuff on him, but Shane did not look like a stellar pro. And that's why I criticize Shane Mosley to this day, because after seeing this fight, I realized Shane's super mistakes. All right, let's see.
Ну, теперь мы с вами перебираемся в Атлантикс.
My man John Brown, boy. Trump Plaza. I used to work at Merv Griffin Resorts, man. Gabriel Rules. He fought a lot of people, man. He was in his prime, man. He was really exciting fighter, man. He was super small, man, fighting them lightweights. He moved up. He used to spar Levander in the gym and was the toughest thing for Levander. But Levander's was a little stronger than him. Levander was a monster, man, with his punches, especially to the body. But John was definitely the one. Let's see if we can get to this fight. Yeah, man, yo. He used to always talk about he was grinding. That's Arnold in the back, man. It's one of my Facebook friends now. That's my coach, Arnold. Mad respect and love for Arnold, man. He used to fight too as an amateur. Man, he was like the second part of the training team. Him and Bill Johnson. I don't see Mr. Bill in here, but and then we had Howard Hurt, the third one, eventually coming on the team. But John was mean, man. He always had a crazy personality. Man, I had a great time as a kid in Atlantic City, man. Coming up, it was a dream to live. It was like living in Vegas right now. So all these young boys going to Vegas, living out in Vegas now, in that boxing mecca. Yo, it was like that in Atlantic City. So I know what you're going through. I know what you feel. I know how good it feels to be everywhere you go. You see a boxing magazine store, and everything is about boxing. You could sneak in a hotel and see a fight any given night. It was just great, man. Let's see. Okay. This one, John was already getting older, man. He actually fought until he was older, and that's what good fighters can do. You can fight until you're older. Look at this little short guy, man. Man, I learned so much from him, man. Just copying him. Just the way he moved. He was very hard to hit. And, when I used to spar him, I used to try my best to knock him out. I got to get this little guy. Because he was smaller than me. And he couldn't really hurt me because, he didn't have his punching power enough to hurt me. So I used to try, man, and couldn't hit this guy with a air balloon if I tried. Nice, man. He had that little bob and weave style, then his feet moving at the same time. Good jab. We all had a good jab. We just learned that in Atlantic City. And tougher than nails, man. Even if you do hit him, you ain't gonna hurt this dude. That's another thing that Atlantic City don't get credit for is being tough, man. Toughest Jews in the world. I'm from Philly, and when I went to Philly, Philly ain't got nothing on Atlantic City. I mean, Philly, boxing skill wise, they got more than Atlantic City, more than a lot of people. But when it comes to punching power and being able to take a punch, Philly gets more credit than they deserve. Atlantic City is the ones who take punishment. Believe me. And there's other little cities too that's pretty tough, but nothing like Atlantic City. Because people come from down from New York, people come from Philly, people come from Delaware, people come from everywhere and run through Atlantic City. Atlantic City get the toughest of the tough. Straight street. And we see John here working his little thing. Let's go ahead to that Shane Mosley I was talking about. That was the main reason. But I had to do an analyst on my man John Brown because I did one on Levander Johnson, my old team, man. Much love to them dudes. And look, John gonna working. John gonna be working, giving them fits. Now, granted, this Shane Mosley, they want him to win. They pawing for him to win. The crowd there for him. He can't even hit John, and because of John's elusiveness, and he really prepared for this fight and really got ready for this fight, and watch. See, Shane like to tee off on you. He line you up and whap. You know what I mean? But John wasn't there for that. John was always moving, perpetual movement. But if John would have had this gift that I got now, man, blocking and how to block, he'd have been a whole nother animal. Because people can't touch you when you learn that blocking I got for you. But everything else, this man was a machine. He knew how to get in. He knew how to get out. His little feet. little creepy style. He come and he rock you when he get ready. He was in shape. His mental toughness. He had a rough life, man. I used to go to his house and everything. We used to run together on the boardwalk. His mom, I don't know if she passed away, and I think I heard she passed away, man. Oh man, that was the sweetest lady in the world, man. She was the sweetest lady in the world, and I can imagine how that broke his heart. And his brother, he had a little brother. His little brother was bigger than him, though, I think. But man, this bring back some memories, boy. John had a rough life coming up with a single poor mother, and I don't even know where his. I never heard about his father or anything. I don't know what's that history, but he had a rough, man, rough. But he never touched drugs, never touched alcohol. This dude was like a soldier, straight from the streets. You know, the streets, black people give people like him a bad name and a bad life just because of the financial condition and the color of our skin. So, because a few niggas in the hood make the hood such a bad place and make it a place where people deserve to be broke, you know, but, you know, look at Shane. This when Shane was young, too. But Shane didn't know what to do with him. See how confused he looked on his face? His father was like, hell, don't worry, boy, trying to smile at him, keep him confident, because John Brown was not easy to hit. Was not easy hit. I tried my best, and be in the gym with him every day. I used to try to hit him, and I couldn't hit him, and it was like, what the heck? And he didn't want to hurt me, even though he couldn't really. Yeah, he could have hurt me, but he really didn't hit harder than me. But this guy, I couldn't hit him with nothing. And Shane gonna figure him out later in the fight, and he might land a few, but this is supposed to be Shane Mosley, and John Brown. Nobody don't even know John Brown, but these are the stories of the people that don't make it. The people that really don't make it in boxing. That's why we need somebody to commentate on boxing like this more often and start telling the truth about what's really going on. You know what I mean? Cut through all the media and the flash and the way that it looks, or the commentating that they got on here. They got liar commentation, man. They tell you a whole nother fight. And I'm looking at this right now. John Brown kicking Shane Mosley butt. John ain't even getting hit. John is slick walking this guy every round, and it's been 2 rounds. But because Shane has the crowd on his back, and the money on his back, the referee on his side. Now John, just like I showed you a fight with Floyd and Nadu lost hope. He never thought he was winning, or he never felt like he was winning because he wasn't being encouraged to win. And John the same way. He's not being encouraged to win because he's fighting big Shane Mosley with the money behind him. So that's what it really be. So it's not that Shane never lost. It's just Shane never lost his confidence and never lost his team and never lost his support. And his support mean a lot. Now John Brown, later on the fight, he gonna get tired. When you whipping somebody's butt for 4, 6, 8 rounds, and nobody cheering for you, and it looks like you're not winning, Shane can't even hit this guy with nothing. This is when I knew right here that Shane is not as technically sound as he should be. He's not a real technically sound boxer. And, it would take a good team of people to recognize this unless you have an eye like I'm looking at now. You saw that jab? That slick jab John just hit him with? John hit him with that slick jab. Let's see that again. Watch that slick. Whoop. Watch that slick jab. Poop. You saw that? I like that. Yeah, I miss you, John, man. If you ever see me on this Facebook, man, hit me up, John Brown. Much love, yo. Dang. Boy, John Brown. Yo, that's enough of that one, man. Much love, y'all. Much love. Peace.